Naku po mga kababayan ko, mukhang hindi magandang senyales po ito dahil mukhang nagkakaroon po ng gusot yung mga supporter po ni Pangulong Duterte at ng mga Duterte. Dahil nga pinuno po ni Atty. Panelo yung naging action po ng mga abogado ni Senator Bato de la Rosa dun sa pag-file ng TRO para pigilan po yung pag-aresto kay Senator Bato. Dahil po sa kanyang palagay, hindi po dapat TRO yung ipinail para mapigilan nga yung pag-aresto. So ito panoorin po natin kung ano po yung dapat, kung ano yung naging punto ni Atty. Panelo at ano ba yung naging dapat i-aksyon ng mga abogado ni Senator Bato para mapigilan nga yung pag-aresto. So ito panoorin po natin, pero syempre bago ang lahat, kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe sa Makapili TV, baka naman pwedeng pakipindot po muna yung subscribe button at the same time, palike na rin po ng video, wala naman pong bayad yan, kaya pindot na. So ito panoorin po natin.
Ang legal issue ay valid ba o hindi? Yan nga ang inihain ng petisyon ng mga abogado ni Bato. Ang mali lang talaga nila na hanggang ngayon hindi nila binawas to. Nag-file sila ng maling petisyon. Kaya tumagal ng tumagal. Kung sila'y sumunod sa ating payo na habeas corpus ang pinail nila, sana tapos na yan. Nagkaroon na ng resolution kung legal ba o hindi legal ang ginagawa nilang restraint of his liberty. Kasi nung nandun siya sa loob ng Senado, merong banta sa kanyang paggalaw. Hindi siya makalabas doon. Siyempre, pagpasok niya, yun lang ang pagpasok, pinigilan na siya. Hindi meron ng restraint ang kanyang movement. Ay, pag nung nandun na siya, di may restraint pa rin sa kanyang paglabas kasi aarestuin siya. Kaya tamang-tama sana yung habeas corpus. Sa loob ng 24 oras, gagalaw ang Korte Suprema. Sinisisi niyo ang Korte Suprema na hindi nagpalabas ng TRO, na hindi nire-resolve kagad ng petisyon. Sinisisi nyo, may prosedimento sila. Pag certiorari ang pinail mo, o kaya rito amparo, ano pang motion nyo, at hindi ang habeas corpus, sinusunod nila yung procedure nila. Ganito, pag nag-file ka, kailangan sagutin ng dinidemanda mo, yung dinidemanda mo, kailangan sumagot din, and so forth and so on. Yun ang kagandahan ng habeas corpus. Nagkamali na nga itong abogadong ito nung pinail niya yung certiorari sa panahon ni Duterte ng pag-aresto. Inulit na naman. Kahit na may payo na nga.
So yun po, para po sa sa pananaw po ni Atty. Salvador Panelo, dahil nga nagkamali na, or sabihin natin na yun nga nagkamali dahil nga 'di ba nabitbit si Pangulong Duterte, dahil nung time na yun si Atty. Torion din po yung I think yung siya rin po yata yung abogado ni Pangulong Duterte nung time na inaresto siya. So yung ipinal nila nung time na yun hindi rin po habeas corpus. So kaya yung nangyari ngayon dito sa kaso ni Senator Bato de la Rosa parang naudit nga daw po. So ito po yun naman yung naging sagot ngayon ni Atty. Torion o yung mga abogado ni Senator Bato de la Rosa tungkol dito sa opinion ni Atty. Salvador Panelo. So ito pakinggan po natin.
Tama ba yung sinasabi ni Panelo na dapat habeas corpus ang idinimanda ng abogado ni Bato? O, panoorin nyo itong paliwanag ng abogado ni Bato. Okay? So, huwag kayong aalis. Idilipat tayo sa Vox Populi. Panoorin nyo ito. Ang ganda nito, mga kababayan, pag hindi nyo ito pinanood, ang dami nyong mamimiss. Ito talaga yung very... Grabe yung usapan namin dito. Tatalino ka dito. Dudugo ang mga utak mo dahil sa mapepersa siyang gumalaw. Pero tatalino ka dito pag panoorin mo to. Ha? Okay.
Pero meron ding mainit na issue na lumalabas ngayon na bakit hindi na lang daw habeas corpus ang inyong sinampa instead of the TRO?
Well, simple. In a, what you call this, petition for habeas corpus, no? Klaro ko lang kasi may mga kaibigan din tayo, no? Na ginagalang natin elders in the profession. In a petition for habeas corpus, there is a person who is deprived of his liberty against his will.
Yes.
So, you file this petition in court, you produce the body. Yun yung ang meaning yan. Ang sa amin kasing palagay, I hope our elders in the profession would understand. Simple question. Who will be the illegal custodian? Who deprived him of his liberty? Isn't it a fact that it was Senator Bato himself who went to the Senate? Alam nga naman gawain naming respondent doon, yung Senado. Hindi naman po pwede na i-respondent namin yung NBI. Ang NBI nga yung gustong pumasok. Kung i-file namin yun, it will be given, it will be treated by the NBI as a license. Oh, nag-file kayo ng petition for habeas corpus and ginawa nyo kaming respondent. I have the obligation now to arrest you so that we can present you in court. Kasi ang illegal custodian will be ordered by the court to present the body in court. Para kaming kukuha ng bato, ipatok sa aming ulo at bigyan ng lisensya yung NBI na dakpin siya para ma-present siya sa korte.
Pero Atty. Torion, ito muna, bago tayo pumunta doon sa part na yun. Hindi ba ibig sabihin nung tao na nagsabing habeas corpus na yun is pinipigilan siyang lumabas? So,
Deprivation of liberty nga.
yun, oo.
Hindi rin kasi it has always been the stand of the Senate that he is always free to leave. Because there is no local warrant of arrest. And that he is free since there is no local warrant of arrest that has been issued. So he can enjoy his Bill of Rights. The foreign warrant of arrest has not been validated here in court. There is no judge which issued a local court. So he's a free man. That is the stand of the Senate. So therefore, technically, when he was in the Senate, from the point of view of the Senate, at least the majority thereof, there is no deprivation of liberty. Pwede pa siguro petition for issuance of writ of amparo. Pero that's another
Teka,
matter.
mahabang usapan yan.
So, ibig sabihin, when you, pag kayo ng habeas, ibig sabihin, kailangan ipresenta nung
Nung illegal
pumipigil?
custodian. Oo, yun. Na sa korte. Paano natin sinong i-respondent ko? Ang Senado.
Isingit ko lang to. Ang ibig sabihin kasi po ng habeas corpus is show me the body. Latin yan for show me the body. May apat na elemento yan, kailangan nating pag-usapan. Merong deprivation of liberty, sinabi niya na. Illegal yung deprivation ng liberty. Entitled to relief yung dinideprive ng liberty. At fourth, ito yung pinaka-importante, yung respondent has custody of the person deprived of liberty. Sabihin mo nang meron yung tatlo na yan, assuming arguendo. Sino po ang may custody kay Bato? Okay, to answer your point, may interesting kang point na sinabi kanina na yung mga tao sa labas, kunyari NBI o police, na pinipigilan siyang lumabas, yun ang nagde-deprive ng liberty. My question to our respected friends, does that constitute custody? Ang tingin ba ng korte doon, kung meron mang mga tao pumipigil sa labas, is that considered custody? Parang hindi. It's more of a threat of enforced disappearance. Mas doon ako. Parang may nagte-threaten kay Bato na baka mawala na lang siyang bigla. At yung threat of enforced disappearance, yan po ang nagfo-fall under writ of amparo. Which is why that is more, in my opinion, more of a possibility kesa po sa habeas corpus.
Pero sa habeas ba, hindi ba pwedeng utusan ng korte ang NBI? Pagkahuli nyo, ibigay nyo sa amin.
Yun
Pakita
nga.
nyo.
Yun nga, pero meron bang isa sa inyo na gusto yun?
Which is delikado yun.
Delikado yun kasi magiging lisensya na yun ng NBI o nag-file kayo ng habeas corpus I am required to produce the body in court. So therefore, you should not prevent me from arresting him, from getting him in person so I can present him in court.
Di ba nga ang argument namin is that the ICC warrant is not enough as of a legal basis para po dakipin si Bato. Yun nga yung sinasabi natin. Pag nag-habeas corpus kami, baka i-construe yan ng court na, yan, meron na kaming basis to have custody of Bato.
So contradicting yun doon sa pinaka-main na final ninyo.
Sa aming pananaw.
Of course, meron silang kanilang pananaw. Mas matanda sila sa atin Ang medyo ayaw ko lang, klaruhin ko lang, yung pati kliyente ko sinasabihan na yung abogado ay mali Siguro naman, at least konting respeto lang.
Okay lang yun, brother.
Yun lang, konting
Sanay tayo.
Ano ba
respeto.
dapat attorney ginawa doon? Tinawagan ka muna?
Hindi naman. I-discuss siguro namin
Professionally.
muna. Professionally. And if he has certain... Ako naman nakikinig ako especially to my elder profession. But just because I am respectful does not mean that I am a wimp. So I would like also to send a message to my elders that if you feel that you have differences with my opinions, you tell me. And let us discuss it. Do not announce it to third persons that I am wrong. Tell it to me and in a very polite manner because I respect you and I expect the same respect.
And besides, kayo pinagkatiwalaan ni Bato.
Pero allow me to put a parang middle ground argument here. Totoong-totoo na si Atty. Torion has been so respectful at ang haba po ng pasensya. Gusto kong i-stretch yung aking utak. Unawain kung bakit sila naggaganyan. No? Feeling ko yung passion talaga nila for Bato, yung fear nila na mawala si Bato, siguro nati-take over na rin sila ng emotions nila. Ang request namin syempre is siguro more communication with us rather than communication with third persons. Rest assured, we listen to them. We revere them. No? So, we do not claim to be better. It's just that right now, ito po ay bigay ng sa amin po lumapit itong tao na ito at that's God's will.
Hindi kaya dahil dito sa pag-deny ng TRO, kaya ngayon, siguro, tama yung sinabi mo, frustration na kay Bato, syempre, na nagtatago ngayon si Bato, ganyan-ganyan, at ngayon, naglabas na ng manhunt operation dito. Maybe siguro isa yun sa mga frustration.
Yes,
Kasi-
but this is my point, no? The worst thing that we can do as allies of Bato is to turn against each other, to turn on each other. Kasi nga po, iisa po yung purpose nating lahat, bukas naman ang linya natin sa isa't isa, at alam naman natin na ang lahat po ng makinarya ng gobyerno, I will bravely say this, alam naman natin lahat ng makinarya ng gobyerno, armamento ay nakatutok sa mga Duterte.
Posible pang magamit siya ng kabilang kampo di ba?
Correct. So, divide and rule, divide and conquer should not work on us. So, I think communication in any kind of relationship from personal to professional should be valued.
Ito lang how I respect my elders. No? Right after we received the comment of the Solicitor General, in our humble law firm, kasi we have a system. I have adopted that system a long time ago. If we handle cases, I give it to my most trusted lawyer, Attorney Resi Rizada, and we have a system already. I give out the what is my view on the matter, how it should be presented, okay? And then I give an outline, and then I communicate it to my assistant dean, my resident manager in the office. And then, meron akong mga lawyers na, let's say, dito, 8. So, yung mga sub-arguments, iba-ibang lawyers yan. But there is a need to harmonize everything. And then, that's where Resi would come in, Jimmy would come in, and finally, me. Okay? So, if there are comments, right after that, 3 o'clock in the morning, meron na kaming comment. Bakit ganun kabilis? Kasi meron kaming sistema. Pero instead of submitting it right away, I sent it to our elder lawyers. Give us your comments. Ang sabi ng isang elder lawyer, ang haba naman, 156 pages. Grabe. Boss, basahin mo muna. Para makita namin yung specific na mga comments ninyo. So we can also see na kung saan kami nagkamali. We need your comments. Hindi. Basta, liitan niyo yan bago ko basahin. So niliitan namin. 112 pages. Tapos, grabe, mahaba pa rin ko, boss. I could no longer, I feel na after reviewing it, ito na. Sige. Naghintay kami ng komento. Wala. Pero sinambit ko na, naging 117. And that, not only one elder lawyer, other elder lawyers also, I give out my, because I need their comments. I do not claim to be ultra highly intelligent. I'm also a human being with my own limitations, and I respect their opinions on the matter. But please, treat me also as a human being entitled to respect, because we are all professionals here. And as a matter of fact, meron din kaming iniingatan din ng dignidad. Kaya nga sinasabi ko palagi, I am respectful, but I am also a Muslim. I may be patient, pero dahan-dahan din.
Pero
Ganun lang.
siguro pandagdag, partner, no? Sana po malaman din nila na pati po sila, ang mga pinapayo nila sa amin, iba-iba. No, so baka po akala nila, it's them against us. Hindi po. Kuminsan, pati yung payo ni A sa amin ay iba kay
Magkaiba.
B, iba kay C. So it really puts us in a very difficult situation. And siguro as they are very experienced people, not just lawyers, siguro naman maintindihan nila that we cannot take everything that they say hook, line, and sinker. That said, we respect them and we await their kind counsel.
Let's move on to that, yung issue ng pinastop yung TRO at now, ito na yung manhunt. Do you think...
Labeled as fugitive na
labeled as fugitive. Do you think nasa tama ba yung timing o hindi pa dapat inantay muna nila yung Monday bago nila in-issue to? At bakit kaya sila nagmamadali?
Actually, blessing in disguise yan, boss. And bakit blessing in disguise yan? It shows now and it proves the government's double-speak policy, which is akin to perfidy in international law. No? What is perfidy? Well, the concept of perfidy presents only in a war situation. Kunyari, kalaban ka. Pero I am applying it by analogy. Kunyari, sa kalaban, giyera kayo, naggaganyan ka ng white flag, gusto mo makipag-usap. Yan ang mga peace talk mo. Ayan din ang ginagawa nila noon. We have no intention to arrest him. We will only arrest him if he will go out of the country. So, they made the people believe that such really is the policy. Right? But what they are doing actually, ang NBI nandun na, morning pa lang nandun na, okay? Iba yung sinasabi, iba yung gustong gawain. What is that? Double-speak policy. Now, naglabas lang ng TRO, wala pang ang order, lumabas na ang totoong kilay nila. Oo. Hindi kulay, kilay. Oo. Kasi yung kilay nila pala talaga, ito na. Dakpin talaga nila si Senator Bato without going through the local courts. Ito, iba kasi ang aming, the people will understand that we are an independent country. We have our own sovereignty. And as such, we have our own 1987 Constitution. Ano na natin yung jurisdiction, kasi principal argument namin, wala nang jurisdiction yung ICC. But granting for the sake of argument na may jurisdiction yan, recognition of a warrant of arrest, foreign warrant of arrest, is different from enforcement of a warrant of arrest. When you enforce a warrant of arrest, coming off from a foreign country, you could not treat it as self-executing kasi may batas din tayo. Okay? You have to pass through the local courts because under Article 59, okay, hindi namin na-accept yung Rome Statute, under Section 1, in accordance with national law, ang pagdakip ng cooperation mechanism ng ICC. So hindi po pwede na dakpin mo lang siya parang manok. Yan ang ginasasabi mo. At ginasabi ko always, at dalahin mo doon sa Netherlands without passing through our local courts. Kaya nga sinasabi namin, sabi nila, may due process naman. Anong due process? Don't they know that the ICC follows the inquisitorial method of investigation? What is that? Secret. How can we know ano yung kinakaso sa amin? Is secret nga. Bato has never been accorded due process. It will only be the very first time here in our country that he will be accorded due process. Kaya nga, kailangan na dumaan sa ating korte.
Partner, linawin lang natin yun yung inquisitorial
At accusatorial.
tsaka accusatorial. Kasi tinuturo po sa law school yan. Ang sistema natin, accusatorial. I accuse you, sumagot ka, magtalo tayo sa piskal, pagpalagay ko may probable cause, kasuhan kita. That's accusatorial. Yun ang demokrasya natin. Ang inquisitorial, sikreto, one way, parang ex parte, no? I suppose.
ex parte.
Ex parte, no? Na mag-imbestiga sila, which is what they did. They admitted na secret yung proceedings nila. Sa kanila legal yun. Sa atin hindi. So if they say na we afforded Bato due process kasi nag-imbestiga kami, iba po yung meaning ng imbestiga sa kanila kasi one way. Dito two way.
Pero ang binabangga kasi nila doon sa Article 59 ng Rome Statute, yung R8 9851 sa Section 17.
Okay, magandang
Kasi
usapan
bakit
yan.
daw
Magandang
natin
usapan
sinusunod yung Rome Statute, wala na nga tayo doon. So, ito sa 9851 ng RA is sa Section 17, pwede isuko nandun.
Hindi. Ganito kasi yan, sir.
Mm.
Release namin yan when RA 87, RA 9851 was passed in Congress in 2009. And we found out that in February and in March of 2009, there was a deliberation. Marami yung iba-ibang senador, but let's fast track. During the deliberation of Senator Ligarda as well as Senator Gordon, there was a question, how would we implement surrender mechanism? Would RA 9851 be enough? According to Senator Gordon, no, that's not enough. Okay? There has to be a law that would provide more teeth to the provisions of surrender. So meaning, it is not self-executing. And I will prove you why. Because Sections 17 states of two mechanisms. Surrender or extradition. Extradition, we have a law, PD 1069. As to how law is not enough, there must be rules of procedure. There is a rule of procedure promulgated by the Supreme Court. Alam natin kung saan i-file, RTC. Alam natin kung sino ang mag-file, DFA through DOJ. Alam natin yan. That is provided in a rules. Sa surrender, meron ba? Wala. Why? Because we did not, according to the deliberations in the Senate, we did not copy Part 9 of the Rome Statute, which is the cooperation mechanisms. So therefore, the cooperation mechanisms of surrender under the Rome Statute, hindi natin kinopya. It is up for us to provide the procedural mechanism, pero hindi natin ginawa. All constitutional democracies, be it Italy, United Kingdom, France, Belgium, all provided their own procedural mechanism as to how to implement surrender. We are the only most unique country which would allow our own national to be surrendered right away without going through courts. We should, their jurisprudence, we have. In Italy, for instance, El Masri, the El Masri Nassim case, he was a Libyan in 2002, arrested via an ICC warrant. What did Italy do? Even if he was a Libyan, Italy entertained his petition, deliberated upon it, and it was found out that his rights were not respected. He was released, but eventually deported to Libya. Ivory Coast, dalawa lang ha, because there are 21 other cases. Dalawa lang, Ivory Coast. The Simon Gbagbo case. Also, there was a foreign warrant of arrest. What did Ivory Coast? They insisted, the Ivory Coast courts gave him his day in court and decided, we will not surrender it to the ICC. Did ICC protest? No. Because in their own rules of procedure, in their own statute, they will respect the national choice.
Pero there's an counter-argument of a lawyer. Sabi niya, yung surrender is already the procedure. Kasi wala na daw parang, kaya nakalagay naman na daw dun, surrender. So definitely surrender.
Ito, kasaysayan na lang. Kasaysayan. Madalas po, di ba, may treaty, may tratado sa global community. Yung parang nagkakasundo sila na, ayaw na natin sa war crimes, ha? Parang ganyan, no? And then, yung mga bansa, after, gagawa ng batas para isakatuparan yung gusto ng treaty. Okay, yun po yung karaniwan. Baliktad ang nangyari dito, ha? Ang nangyari dito, nung 2010, nauna yung 9851. Wala pa tayo sa treaty, hindi pa natin na-ratify. Pero aware na sila sa treaty. So, ibig sabihin, ginawa yung 9851 independently sa Rome Statute. Ginawa, bakit ginawa? Kasi gusto ng Kongreso at Senado, ng Congress as a whole noon, na gawing krimen ang crimes against humanity. war crimes, aggression, genocide. No? So, naging crime na siya dito. Bakit? Kasi dati hindi. Ngayong krimen na siya dito siya lilitisin. Okay, yung sinasabi ni Atty. Torion, naglagay ba tayo doon ng surrender mechanism to the ICC? Sabi nga nila, Senator Gordon, hindi nga. Unang-una, wala pa tayo doon sa treaty. Nung time na yon. Ba't tayo gagawa ng surrender mechanism to a treaty na hindi pa natin niraratipika? Yun po yung pinaka-basic po. Sana po nakukuha ninyo yung explanation. That the sequence matters. No? Bakit nila sasabihin na pwede na yung surrender to the ICC? Eh, hindi pa nga kami ICC noon.
Sino may kasalanan at bakit wala pa yung procedural mechanism?
No, hindi siya kasalanan eh. I think it is clear legislative intent na dito litisin. Meron pong clear legislative intent. Sino ba ang may gusto ngayon na ibato si Bato sa ICC?
Yung nagpapato.
Hindi naman pero hindi naman yung legislature, at least that's not what their laws say. Their laws do not say that. It's the executive na gusto ibato si Bato.
As a matter of fact, sir, if they just read the transcript of the minutes of
basahin
the
nyo.
meeting,
Parang awa nyo na.
RA 9851 was enacted to fortify, strengthen our criminal laws such that any violation of crimes against humanity, war crimes, genocide can be tried here. That is the purpose of that law.
O isang basic ha, meron yung sinasabi namin na sa mga criminal law books, criminal law 1, yung nullum crimen, nulla
Nulla
pena
pena
sine
sine
lege.
lege.
Ang ibig sabihin nun, there is no crime if there is no law criminalizing it. Ibig sabihin, banat bay, kaya ka lang makukulong pag may pinatay ka. Kasi nakalagay sa RPC na bawal ang murder tsaka homicide. Kung wala yon, hindi ka pwede ikulong. Kahit masama pa yan sa religion mo o whatever, there has to be a law that criminalizes it. At dati, ang genocide, ang crimes against humanity, etc., yung 4 na core crimes sa ICC, hindi krimen dito. Ginawang krimen dito.
Doon sa
Sa
9851.
1951.
Para i-trial dito.
Para i-try dito.
Yan ang purpose ng RA 9851.
Kaya walang surrender doon. Kasi, ang nakalagay doon, dito.
Tsaka, okay, sabi nila, surrender. Okay. Pag magdakip ka kasi ng tao, constitutionally, daan talaga yan sa korte. Because you are depriving liberty. Hindi po pwede na ang executive department lang ang mag-determine. Dictatorship yan, dictatorship yan. The Bill of Rights was specifically enshrined, no, in order to protect us from government excesses. Kaya sinasabi ko, between a leviathan of governmental power and the individual lies a shield, and that shield is the Bill of Rights. And what is my further basis? Treaty law. If you look at the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Article 9 thereof, in cases of arrest, we are a signatory to that in 1986. And we have to follow that. In cases of arrest in whatever jurisdiction, that person arrested has to have a judicial recourse. Not only that, Articles 8 and 9 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, of which we are likewise a party, mandates judicial recourse also. So our basis is not only the Rome Statute. We do not even recognize it. Our basis is the Constitution, treaty law, customary international law. Kaya nga, sa aking palagay, kung maging open lang yung mind natin at mangyayari yan sa kanila. O, yung nagsabi na the law does not distinguish. Judge daw, any judge, it contemplates a foreign judge. O, tingnan natin kung may Chinese warrant of arrest. Tapos, ikiha siya, especially yung tao na nag-demean kay yung leader. Yung nag-drawing ng karton. Okay. Ipatrial natin yan. Pa-issuehan natin ang warrant of arrest doon sa China. Tapos i-implement natin dito. Sabi ninyo the probable cause can be determined by any judge. I-implement dito. Tingnan natin kung papayag ba sila.